Marvin's Cross, a story about glory, grace, and the journey. Marvin had never known stability. The streets of Baltimore were cold, unforgiving, and full of traps disguised as treasures. At just 7 years old, he watched a paramedic zip up his mother's lifeless body into a black bag, found unresponsive just outside the city limits. She had been wearing a small silver cross. He remembered clutching it in his tiny hands that night, his tears soaking the chain, wondering why God had taken her and left him behind. From that day forward, his grandmother, which he referred to as Mama, became his world. Her health was never great. Diabetes and arthritis had taken away her mobility, and by the time Marvin was 10 years old, she couldn't stand without help. But she still made sure he had food, clean clothes, and most importantly, love. By the age of 17, Marvin was halfway out of high school, but halfway into the streets. His friends were flashing cash, driving stolen cars, and slinging easy money. He knew what they did, but he also knew how quick the game could change. One bad deal, one bad step, one shot away from losing it all. But he also knew what it felt like to come home and see Momo curled up under 3 blankets because the heat was cut off. Each night he lay awake on a worn-out sofa, staring at a water-stained ceiling, asking him the same question. Do I survive the streets or do I climb that mountain? That question haunted him until the morning he turned 18 years old. On the day that he turned 18 years old, he woke up before sunrise, the cross in his hand. He walked to the bedroom where his grandmother lay, her frame frail and beneath the sheets. Mama, he whispered, I made a decision. She looked at him through tired eyes, barely able to speak. I ain't taking the streets, Marvin said, holding back emotions. It ain't gonna be easy, but I'm gonna do it right. I'm going to the pizza shop. Maybe I can make some tips. Just I need you to believe in me, Momo. Her lip trembled. A tear slid down her cheek. I always have, baby. Follow your dreams. I love you, Momo said. He kissed her forehead and grabbed the cross and walked out the door. The pizzeria was small, tucked between a laundromat and a pawn shop. The old man behind the counter looked up at Marvin as he entered. Can I help you, son? Yes, sir. My name's Marvin. I just turned 18 this morning. I don't have any experience, but I can cook. I've been feeding my Momo for the past 10 years. She raised me since my mom passed away. She's sick now and can't walk. He paused and took a breath. I don't want the streets. I want a shot, Marvin said. The owner didn't speak right away. He stood slowly and walked over. My name is Mr. Salvador. I was raised by my grandmother too. She's been gone for 30 years. Still miss her today. He placed a hand on Marvin's shoulder. The old man said, Can you mop, cook, take orders? Yes, sir. I'll give it hell, I promise, Marvin said. Then you're hired. Let's build something. 9 years passed like a blink. Marvin learned everything, how to stretch dough, manage the inventory, resolve customer complaints. He even turned out to be a pretty damn good leader. He buried his grandmother 4 years in. Pneumonia taken her, what strength she had held on to for so long, but her voice never left him. By the 9th year, Marvin was running the place, hiring, scheduling, ordering. Mr. Salvador had grown slower and more tired. Then one afternoon he came in with a walker, and closely behind him followed a man in a sharp suit, carrying a large black briefcase. Marvin, come into the office. We need to talk. Confused, Marvin followed. He took a seat across from Mr. Salvador and the attorney. I'm going into an assisted living care home. My health is failing, the old man said. The attorney opened a briefcase, pulled out a bunch of documents. I'm signing this place over to you, Mr. Salvador says. Marvin's eyes welled up. I saw the kid that you were on that very first day. I've watched you become a man. This restaurant is yours now. Keep it alive and keep it real. Marvin didn't just keep it alive. He built an empire. Over the next decade, Marvin expanded across the state and then into the region, from one pizza joint to 38 owned locations, plus 15 franchises. His name becomes synonymous with second chances and first-class pizza. He used his wealth not for flash, but for good. He built accessible housing for low-income seniors. He funded after-school programs for kids tempted by the streets. And he spoke at different high schools every single month, sharing one message. The easy road might look shiny, but it costs more than you can afford. The hard road, that's where your name lives forever. Today, Marvin's net worth is estimated at over $100 million and still growing. But more important than the money is his legacy. He's always kept that cross that was found around his mother's neck that awful night on the city streets of Baltimore. It hangs in his office, framed with a small note below it that reads, Do the hard thing. That's how you honor the ones who have believed in you. The moral of the story, Doing the right thing won't be easy, but the climb, the grind, and the struggle, that's what forges true strength. Marvin could have had fast money, but he chose lasting wealth, honor, and purpose. When you're at the crossroads, remember Marvin.